The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole.
Y'all ready to get rolling? Quiet on the set. Hey, welcome back. Another hot episode of the Golden Boot. It's your boy Poop. I got my man Ant Petty Murphy in the building. What's good with you, my boy?
What's happening with it, bro?
Hey, man, another day, another dollar. I'm tired, bro. I tried to fake it. They say, so they used to teach us in the military, even false motivation is motivation. I'm tired, bro. I'm tired. I got a confession for everybody. I live in the hood, in this ghetto here. Adulthood, as that is. And I don't want to be here no more. I want to go back to the times where I didn't have to pay bills. Where I didn't have to get up and go to work. But hey, here we go. I want my kids. Listen, I wake up every day, say I hope my kids love me, take care of me when they make it big.
Trying to get retired, bro.
I'm trying to get retired. I need a sugar mama or something. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Playing ish. But man, we got a good one tonight. Bro, we almost at the point, man. I'm gonna start having them withdrawals, bro. You know what I'm saying? Football withdrawals. So we're almost at that point where ain't gonna be nothing to watch. But basketball, you know what I'm saying, hockey and tennis.
Yeah, then you got baseball warming up.
I don't care about college baseball.
I care about MLB when the postseason comes.
I care about MLB. I don't even care about MLB during the postseason. I care about MLB during Game 3 of the World Series. That's when I start caring about Major League Baseball. Listen. Just get there. We can talk about the rest later. You can tell me, but I don't care. Get there. Be in the midst of it. So I can be like, oh, that team pretty good this year.
When they in Game 3 of the World Series.
Yeah, I won't, dude. I don't care. I don't care. I'm gonna tell you why I don't care. Because my doggone Cardinals have been doing terrible. They have been terrible for the last few years. And it's just, it breaks my heart. It does, man. So that's why I don't be caring. But other than that, man, I don't know. I tell people all the time, if I ever find out the true rules behind curling, you ain't gonna be able to stop me, bro. I'll be watching. I'll be watching everything. Curling is so good, man. It's just so interesting. It's just like
every 4 years. You're right. Every 4 years.
I've seen it. Wait till when the Ocho be popping up and they be have all them funky sports and curling be up there every now and then.
Watching that mess.
You say that. I bet
I'm
when it come
telling you,
on, you watch it for
bet
about 3-4 minutes.
I bet I
bet
don't
you
watch
watch it.
curling.
I bet.
I guarantee you I don't watch curling. I don't even watch it when the Olympics come on.
Okay. You lying, but I think you're lying.
I'm not.
I'm not. I know. I get it. But hey, it is what it is. Man, we got a good one tonight, man. We got some off-topic kind of stuff to talk about, man. I got a question, bro, for you. We'll ask later on, probably midway through the show. I think we're gonna get some gears turning. I think I'm gonna introduce a new segment we can do. But first, man, y'all know what we gotta do. We gotta give a shout out to our sponsor over at BetOnline. BetOnline.ag. We will be back in 1 minute.
BetOnline.ag is your number one source for all your sports information, stats, news, and scores. Get the latest odds, lines, and player injury reports for this year's NBA and NHL playoffs. BetOnline is always your sports information headquarters. This season, we have you covered for all your sports wagering needs. We have everything from NBA, NFL, MLB, and NHL to golf, tennis, UFC, and boxing. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to get your betting info, including live betting options and your favorite casino and card games that you can play right from your home. Head on over to betonline.ag today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Be sure to use the promo code BLEAV to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts.
And we are back. And I can't believe it. We have not been talking about the national champs, bro. We got some national champions we have not mentioned once this season. I'm talking about the LSU Lady Gymnastics team. They have been hot so far this season. Started off 3-1. Their only loss coming against number one Oklahoma, where they lost by 0.3 of a score. But they have been consistent with scores of 197.3 in the first meet, and then 197.65 in every meet since. They have been on fire. Aaliyah Hannigan, I think that's all. I think it's Hannigan. Hold on, let me double check. I think that's how you pronounce her last name.
I thought
she has been Finnegan. That's what I said. Why I get Hannigan? Finnegan, Aaliyah Finnegan. She's been like all around, been doing some real nice things, some nasty things. Maybe I shouldn't say nasty when we're talking about gymnastics, but y'all get what I'm saying. She been dominating all around. And then this freshman class they brought in has been really good. I'll tell you somebody else, Amari Drayden, somebody else who showed up and been really good as well. So if y'all can, you get some time, support Lady Gymnastics team. Speaking of supporting and doing better things, LSU men's basketball. They got their first conference win last night against Arkansas. I know this is going to sound cliche, but I felt like this was going to happen. For some reason, every year against Arkansas, win or lose, LSU shows up and has a pretty good. It's Arkansas and Kentucky. They all if they play in.
Then you combine the fact that Calipari is now at Arkansas. It just
there you go. It's funny because LSU steps up and, like I said, plays a phenomenal game when it comes to Arkansas or when it comes to Kentucky. And like you said, now the combination of Calipari there. The game last night, they got down, found a way to fight back, and then take the lead and held on. This is funny because we talked about last episode about them struggling. Are they in trouble? And honestly, man,
that was
the team we saw. Yeah, the team we saw non-conference and talked about that grit and that fight back. We saw that last night, and that's what we kind of been looking for. Your thoughts on the game?
I think, like you said, it was kind of a sloppy, shaky first start to the game. They dug themselves a hole, but they stayed composed. They clawed, they fought their way back and took the lead. And then a lot of times, whenever you got to expend that energy to retake the lead, you don't have enough to sustain the lead and hold it on. Hold on to the lead for the duration of the game. But they were able to play keep away for the rest of the game. Had some big defensive stops, including the block on the last shot of the game. So I mean, they played like we saw them play early in the season, like you mentioned, especially in that second half. Like they played smart basketball. They played tough defense. They didn't take a lot of ill-advised shots. They didn't turn the ball over like they did in the first half. It was just a more complete game in the second half, and you saw what they were capable of doing. Cam Carter was huge, pause in that game last night, and
Yeah,
I think he kind of went back to what we were seeing from him at the beginning of the season. So if you can get that consistently from him, I think they'll kind of be able to find their way in conference play a little bit.
Yeah. Cam Carter, you mentioned season high 27 points. He himself was 7 of 15 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3, 10 of 10 from the free throw line. He also added in 4 rebounds and 2 assists. As a team, man, LSU last night shot 40% from the field, shot 36.4% from the 3-point line, and shot 92.9% from the free throw line. They were 26 to 28. Got to the line a lot. That was big in this game. Considering they won by 4, they got to the line 28 times. On the flip side of that, Arkansas, they shot 39% from the field, 45% from 3, and they shot 84.6% from the free throw line. They only got to the free throw line 13 times. They made 11 of those free throws, and that was one of the biggest difference in the game. LSU driving to the lane, like you said, not taking those ill-advised shots. Damian Collins, you mentioned the block.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, at one point in the game, hold on, here it is. LSU had 11 blocks on the game. Arkansas had 6 themselves, but LSU had 11 blocks on the game. On the game, bench points. LSU had 31 bench points. That also was a huge contributing factor for them. Rebound wise was pretty even. LSU won the defensive rebounds. Arkansas got the offensive rebounds. But that was even with that. Arkansas had 17 offensive rebounds against LSU's 12, but second chance points because of the blocks and the great defense down low. Arkansas only got 11 second chance points, while LSU turned around and got 8. Like I said, the glaring stats for me looking at this, free throws, LSU getting to the line 28 times, going 26 to 28, and also bench points, outscoring Arkansas 31-18 in that area. Next up for LSU, if I'm not mistaken, they got a big one coming up. Number 11, Texas A&M in College Station. This was a game last year where LSU, I think, could have changed the trajectory of their season. They had that game pretty much in the bags and then let it slip away. It happened twice against Texas A&M. Now Texas A&M comes in pretty hot this season. They've kept up with Kentucky and I want to say Alabama, but they got this. Like I said, this is another big one for them. So
yeah, I mean, it's you might well say that about every game on their schedule for the most part, and in the SEC a gauntlet. So It's
Yeah.
ain't gonna be many games where you can say it ain't a tough test. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we talked about the gauntlet. They got Texas A&M, they got Alabama, they got Auburn, then they got Texas, then they got Georgia, then they got Ole Miss. If I'm not mistaken, of everybody I just named, Texas A&M, Alabama, Auburn, Texas, I think is still ranked. Georgia's the only one not ranked, I
yeah,
believe, on
Georgia
their
ranked
list.
23.
Oh shit! Well, I think all of them might be ranked. Then I know Ole Miss is ranked, especially after last. Ole Miss got the upset over Alabama, so it's gonna be tough. Paul's Hub with always with the great facts drops in, says Cal has lost his last 3 at the PMAC. So
Interesting.
yeah. I actually Arkansas struggled a lot more this season.
That's with different coaches too.
Yeah. I really Arkansas struggled this year. I really thought they was gonna be a lot better. Not great, but better.
Yeah, they kind of what I thought they might be. Um, I feel like a couple guys on their team I thought were going to be better than I thought they were going to be, but the team is about what I thought. I thought it might take him a little minute to get his system and get his guys in there. I'm watching Tennessee and Georgia right now. Tennessee about to go up 20 on them. They just went up 20 on them.
I'm actually sitting here watching I'm watching the Houston West Virginia game. So watching that.
Man, Tennessee running these boys at the gym, man.
I've started watching a lot more college basketball this season, and it's a lot of parity now, and I love that. Love
well,
it.
the SEC is kind of like the SEC in football, bro. Like Tennessee got smacked by Florida,
Yes,
and then turn around and beating Georgia by 20. You know what I'm saying? With 12 minutes left to go, it's
Florida got smacked by Mizzou. Came back and made a close game last night. Ole Miss went into Tuscaloosa, Coleman Coliseum, and beat them. So yeah, it's Auburn. Somebody who beat Auburn. Somebody beat Auburn in or that might have been non-conference. But Auburn been looking good. They've looked vulnerable at times, but they've looked
Auburn
good.
look like they might be the best team in the country.
Yeah. Iowa State, as Paul's put in, they belt the ass on Kansas tonight. What up, fam? What happening? Doc. Hey, I don't know if you know, Doc gonna be on the sideline at the Shrine.
Oh yeah, what's up, my boy? What's up, my boy? Texas ain't ranked no more, by the way.
Oh, they not? Okay, they got them just. Yeah. Hey man, let's move on to women's basketball because that's another side where parity has been key, and the SEC has been loaded in the women's game too. LSU will be taking on Florida this upcoming Sunday. They got the big win over Vanderbilt this past Monday. I say big win. The game was closer than I know some people thought it should have been. Let me ask you about that because I saw Gary Reedus made a post. He said all that matters is the W. Now all of a sudden, playing in close games is a big issue.
He right. All that matters is the W. but we talked about this during the football season after the Ole Miss game. Like, yeah, you landed the plane, but boy, you had hell doing it, didn't you? As a coach, I could see why he's saying all that matters is we got the W, because at the end of the day, that's their goal. You know what I'm saying? They achieved their goal at the end of the day. But as a fan, sometimes you want to see a little bit more from your team than just squeaking by with a close victory.
Yeah. Yeah, that's understandable.
But
They
in
take
that,
on
but in
Florida.
that,
Oh, go ahead. Go
hold
ahead.
on. But in that game though, I think it was close. It was close because Vanderbilt played very well. It
Yeah.
wasn't like LSU just wasn't playing up to par. You know what I'm saying? So I tend to agree with what Regis is saying in this sense, because it ain't like they made a whole bunch of mistakes to make the game close. I mean, the girls from Vandy just had a hell of a game. Old girl dropped what,
They did.
29, something like that. So I mean, you gotta tip your cap sometimes to the other team and just say they had a great night. But you just was fortunate enough to come away with the victory.
I agree with that. They take on Florida this week, this Sunday, and then on Thursday is the matchup that what I'm saying everybody looks to every year. Kim Mulkey versus Don Staley, Tigers versus Gamecocks, uh, Flage versus Fuwali. I don't know, but LSU versus South Carolina. How do you? It's a big game. I'm excited about it. I don't have the same feel that I usually do though. This year, it just don't have that.
I don't know why. It does to me. I feel like two heavyweights about to go at it.
Yeah, but to me, it feels like Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder, but it ain't the necessarily at the same time frame I want to see it. It's like I want to see this fight. I want to see this matchup, but it ain't necessarily the same, if that makes sense.
Is it because
I think it's twofold. I think I know why.
Well,
It's
go ahead
twofold.
with that.
First part, I believe in LSU, but I don't want that. I'm praying I don't have disappointment. And it's the same
That's
like
what
with
I was,
football. When they played football, used to play Alabama. It's like I know we can win. I know we got a strong chance, but I don't want to see us get up and then something happen, fall flat.
So that's what I was gonna say. Is it because you don't think they can win?
Yeah. No, I think they can. It's just, and I get what you're saying. I think they can. I just, like I said, I'm fearful of disappointment.
Is it because you don't really have, like, you don't really know nobody on South Carolina?
That was the other part. That's the other part. I don't know. I mean, I know some names, but I don't. That star power ain't necessarily like Watkins is out.
Yeah.
So that kind
And
of takes a little bit away from
They
it.
don't have a Cardoza, you know what I mean? Like, they don't have a. I mean, they got Pow, they got Raven Johnson, they got the great freshman, but I kind of agree with you. Like, the household name ain't there in terms of star power on South Carolina side for to where, as an LSU fan, you like you said, you want to see last year you wanted to see Angel go up against Carmilla. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
this year you don't really have that matchup. You want to see Raven Johnson and Flage. I mean,
Facts.
you want to see you want to see Chloe Kitts and Aneesah Morrow. Like it just don't hit the same. So I feel you on that, but at the same time, on my end, it's kind of like these still two of the top 3, 4 teams in the country playing, and two undefeated. No, South Carolina lost. So I mean, two of the best teams in the country playing in a highly pivotal game at this juncture of the season. So I mean, it kind of don't get no better than this to me, until you get to like the Final Four. Like deep in the tournament.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it still hit the same, man. But this Florida game though, I don't really know what to make of Florida, bro. Like they played some games close. They beat a few teams in conference, but then they got blown out in conference also. So it's like, what team are you? When they played Kentucky, they lost by like 15, something like that. And then they turn around and beat Missouri by like 16. So like,
Yeah.
I guess it really depends on what team shows up, and considering we got to go on the road, I'm assuming that the better version of Florida is gonna show up since they at home. But I think as long as LSU not looking forward to South Carolina, I think that they should be able to handle business against Florida.
Yeah. Yeah. Completely agree with that. Um, I want to throw this out there too. If I'm not mistaken, somebody who's quietly climbed the rankings of just greatness. Um, and when I say quiet, because last year she was in the shadows, um, and didn't really get much recognition. But Aneesah Morrow this year, actually last game, eclipsed 1,500 rebounds in her career. Congratulations to her. Um, like I said, I don't think she gets the recognition she deserves. Um, and your thoughts on young Morrow? I know you kind of shook things up this week.
You want me to go there with it?
Yeah, you can, you can.
I just feel like and I don't I know this finna get twisted when I say this. But I just feel like people don't give enough credit and respect to Aneesah Morrow. Like the double doubles and all that. Like I know Andrew Reese set the record for most consecutive or whatever,
Consecutive, correct.
and uh and people put a lot of emphasis on that. But like, do you know where Aneesah Morrow stands all time in terms of double doubles? Like she uh she climbing up the ranks, and I think because she's not as vocal and not in the spotlight as much, I feel like she doesn't get the recognition she deserves. Because if we talking strictly basketball, I'm taking her over Angel Reese. in terms of skill set. Like Angel got the intangibles, the leadership, and you know what I mean, like the coach on the court to get everybody, you know, mind right, get them focused on what they need to be doing, getting them playing defense, you know, all that kind of stuff. We need a stop type, you know, a coach on the floor type. But in terms of what can you do with the basketball, give me Aneesah Morrow.
That's fair. I personally think it's fair. I do understand that a lot of people disagree with it.
I'm fine with that. I mean, it wouldn't be fun if everybody agreed. But I mean, I'm looking at it objectively. Aneesah Morrow can handle the basketball better. Aneesah Morrow can shoot the basketball better. Aneesah Morrow can rebound pretty much just the same. And I personally feel like she's a better defender because she's more versatile. She can defend more positions, in my opinion. Not saying that Angel Reese isn't good. Not saying Angel Reese can't play defense, can't rebound. I'm not saying none of that. I'm just saying, like, it's neck and neck when we splitting hairs when you talk about these things, but I'm not afraid to, you know what I'm saying, to split those hairs and talk about it. So, I mean, I know we'll see people talk about, well, where's she gonna get drafted and all this kind of, and using that to kind of determine who's better, and well, Angel Reese won this award and all this kind of stuff. I'm not talking about all that kind of stuff. I'm just talking about what I see with the eye test.
Yeah. Let's not. I tried to. I laugh because last year people talked about the draft and Angel ain't gonna get drafted that high. Caitlin Clark's a better player, and Angel's she's not gonna be that good. And it was several people. I got bookmarks of people talking trash about Angel Reese. The biggest thing with that though, and I get what you're saying. A lot of people don't like Angel Reese because she is the antagonist in the Caitlin Clark story.
Yeah.
And people, please, let's be realistic. Let's stop blaming, or not saying blaming. Let's stop using where you're drafted as the barometer of the type of player that you may be. The draft is determined, or where you draft is determined by a multitude of things. One, and not always, but one of those things is the need of the team. Also, the likelihood of another player being available later. Sometimes players are drafted earlier because their potential teams would, afraid that that player may be drafted, so or won't be around a couple of picks later, so they go ahead and get this person. And then, because I think if you go back and revisit the draft, her and Cardozo may be flipped if you go back, but Cardozo would not necessarily be left there, at that spot.
Possibly. Yeah, I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah. But I do want to say this, man. Women's basketball is growing tremendously. And something I didn't know that just happened, women's basketball for the first time will be paid for participating in the NCAA March Madness. Unanimous vote by the NCAA membership was met with a round of applause today as the final steps towards pay structure for women playing in March Madness was given approval. I say given approval. Basically, this year, women will be paid $15 million, not per team. $15 million will be split amongst the teams out there. That's 26% of like the women's basketball media revenue deal. That's this year. That will grow to 25% or 41% of the revenue by 2028. But it's just fascinating to me that these women weren't already being paid. that
I
these teams,
mean,
the women's teams.
they go. Do you think the baseball teams get paid for making it to Omaha?
I thought they did. I thought it's when you make it that far that you get. But you know what? It makes sense. You're absolutely right, and I know why. Remember when we were talking on HBCU Hour about the FCS playoffs and how
Mm-hmm.
that was originally structured?
Mm-hmm.
Because they fall under the NCAA. The NCAA doesn't necessarily pay. As a matter of fact, in the FCS playoff, the schools at one point they were bidding and paying the NCAA to participate in the playoffs.
But
College
now this one.
football, FBS college football playoff is it's different. That falls under completely separate. That's actually college football didn't even have a NCAA trophy. You get a BCS trophy, and you get the college football playoff trophy, but there's no NCAA trophy.
But the reason why none of them other sports get paid is because they don't have a TV deal big enough to pay the schools with. Like if you look at the football national championship, CFP, the bowl game contract, whatever era you in, that's always been large enough to throw a little something to the schools for making it. NCAA March Madness makes more money than football does for the NCAA, pretty much. So of course they got money to throw to schools. The TV market for the women hasn't always been that good. You just talked about it being hot right now, people watching women's basketball. Well, this is what comes of people watching women's basketball. They get new TV deals. They get more money for those TV deals. What can you do with more money? Give it back to the schools who participate in the tournament. College baseball, if it stays on the little meteoric rise it's on right now, where everybody's watching the College World Series and the regionals and all that kind of stuff, I'm sure they'll get a new TV deal and they'll probably start throwing something to the schools. But it all comes down to the TV revenue. That's what everything had. Almost every move in college sports over the past 10, 15 years has come down to TV revenue, bro.
Yeah. And you're absolutely right. I was more looking at because I know sponsorship is another thing. But that goes back to be fair, that still goes back to TV revenue because
who finna pay for advertisement if nobody watching?
Bingo. So and you're absolutely right. But it does make sense now. Women's basketball is at an all-time high. Whether we're talking about women's college basketball, especially, it has been the driving force. The WNBA has picked up. Now the new Unrivaled League is going to. I think that's going to bring a couple eyes and some excitement, things to watch. So it's just interesting.
You get to see Angel Reese play with a point guard again.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting to watch. That's funny. Man, sticking with the NCAA, bro. And I know you're gonna think I read all your tweets to some of these topics we talk about. But NCAA, FBS coaches vote almost unanimously for a 10-day transfer window. They want to. Yeah, so here's how it actually plays out. They unanimously approved a 10-day transfer portal window on Tuesday. Under the proposals, players would have from January 2nd to January 12th to enter the transfer portal. This eliminates both the December and April windows. And if approved by the NCAA, the changes could go into effect as soon as the 2025-26 season. The changes aim to help players and coaches better focus on preparation for bowl games. Roster attrition has led to several shorthanded teams in the bowl season, most notably at Marshall, which pulled out of the Independence Bowl after numerous players entered the transfer portal in wake of Coach Charles Huff departing the program for Southern Miss. The only thing holding this up needs approval from the committee, and the D1 Council will likely face some pushback. And you said that they stole your idea.
Yeah, they just stole my idea.
Go ahead with it. Talk to us.
Well, at least part of my idea they stole. So my solution to fixing the bowl game opt-outs and transfer portal, well, not necessarily opt-outs, but the transfer portal entries missing the bowl games was to start the college football playoff like the week after the conference championship games.
Mm-hmm.
To where you finished in the national championship game is on New Year's Day. And then all the other bowls will be finished by New Year's Day. And then January 2nd to January 12th, the transfer portal is open. That gives students 10 days to find a school and gives them enough time to be enrolled before classes start. For the most part, before classes start. But that was my idea to fix the transfer portal window and all that kind of stuff. But that looks like they only took half of it. But I do think I saw something interesting today on Feinbaum show. Ross Dellinger.
Mm-hmm.
You see that?
I didn't.
You see it? He said that the transfer portal windows aren't enforceable by the NCAA.
Really?
That's what he said. He said there's a court ruling in Ohio that prevents the NCAA from enforcing their rules. So nothing's stopping the player from leaving the school and going to another school outside of the transfer portal windows. His words, not mine, and I'm paraphrasing, by the way, but he yeah, basically that's what he said, that the transfer portal window is not enforceable. So I'm curious to see if there's ever a time where we see a student test that theory out.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Everything the NCAA has done has since July 1st, I think it's 2021 or 2020, when the NIL became when that legally went into effect. Everything they've tried to do since then has failed. They got here with that color purple. Till you do right by me. Till you do red. Right. Hey, till you do right by Ed Bannon, everything you do gonna crumble. And here's why. The NCAA was asked to put something in place for, for pay, for compensation. They said, okay, drag their feet. And when governing bodies, states got involved, and the NCAA tried to push back, they went to court. And law versus NCAA are two different things.
Yep.
So yeah, that pushback, and plus
they got a losing streak like it ain't nothing in court too, boy. I'm talking about they see nothing but L's in court, bro.
And it's
like a public defender.
Yeah. Wait till you start seeing players go to the NFL, not do well after a year or so, or get drafted by somebody and say, hey, they don't want to be there. And hey, I'm gonna come back to school. You can't do that, and then try to sue. That's gonna be It's gonna be crazy. I know it ain't gonna necessarily happen, but the way things have been going lately,
No, I just wonder how the NFL would handle that. Like, if you, prime example, hypothetically, Travis Hunter goes number 1 to Tennessee, and he don't want to go there. He said, "I'm gonna go back to Colorado for a year." Does Tennessee still have the rights to his, or like, can he enter the
almost
draft?
almost like baseball.
Yeah, yeah. Like, that's why in Europe and NBA that's why they draft foreigners and stuff and like knowing they're not finna come over for a year or whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and draft them so nobody else can get them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
WNBA has been doing that a lot lately.
as a matter of fact, did you know this? Red Auerbach drafted Larry Bird a year before he came out.
I didn't know that.
Just so he could have his draft rights.
That's crazy. I did not know that. Only person I knew somewhat similar.
That's one reason why they started making people declare for the draft and stuff.
Only time I ever knew something similar to or close to that was David Robinson got drafted by the Spurs, but then he served his military time and then came. That's the only time I've ever known that. I know
didn't pause up. If you still here, tell me if I'm wrong. Bo Jackson got drafted by somebody he didn't want to get drafted by. Then played baseball. Then went back to the Raiders.
That may be. That's interesting.
I think I know. Somebody got drafted by somebody they didn't like, so they went to the USFL instead too.
If I'm not mistaken, that was Herschel Walker did that.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, but I didn't want to say his name and be wrong.
Yeah, Herschel. I do know Herschel did that.
I'm pretty sure Bo Jackson got drafted by.
Yeah, you are. If I'm not mistaken, let me look at this.
Tampa Bay or somebody.
Tampa Bay. That's exactly who. Because I'm literally. I just saw it. I'm trying to professional sports career. Here we go.
Look at Paul. So Bo was drafted by the Bucks originally. See, I knew I wasn't tripping.
Yeah, I literally just saw it. Yep.
But see now, after that happened though, did they change the rule to where if I draft you, I keep your rights at least for a few years? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I had to look that up, but it would be interesting for sure if somebody did try that. I wouldn't be surprised at all though if somebody. I mean, look at Pavia. Hell, he was out of eligibility and just said, "I'm gonna sue for more."
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting, man. I do wonder what is the next legal fight. I there are some things I do miss about some of these fights, I guess you could say, legal fights. Having that transfer window. What else? Having the JUCO rules or stuff like that. That stuff I'm a miss. It just having that structure, bro. It's literally about to be the Wild Wild West, and I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I do know that. I do remember that Elway threatened the Colts with going to play for the Yankees.
Yeah,
that's why he was traded to Denver. Yeah, I knew that.
I saw that on the
30. Eli Manning. That's why he and Phillip Rivers end up getting traded for each other. Yeah, same kind of deal. It did. It actually worked out for both.
Worked out for
Elway
too.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, man, we've been talking, a little bit about NIL. We talked about this different stuff. It brought a question to my mind. I asked you the other day and said we'll talk about it. So let me ask this question. y'all in the chat join in on this. I think y'all might enjoy this. And this is a new segment I want to introduce called Top 5 and then blank. So this week's segment, Top 5 richest athletes if they had played during the NIL era.
We got to put them in order because I don't really got no order.
I got mine in order. You can go ahead and give
All right, let me put mine in order. So while you go.
Okay. All right, I'll go ahead and go. All right, so my honorable mentions, I got 2 of them. The first one, Tyrann Mathieu. I think the year he had between his freshman and then going to the sophomore year, I think he would have did pretty well. He was a fan favorite, still a fan favorite. My next honorable mention, and this was a close. I had him in my top 5, but I had to pull him out. Tim Tebow. I think Tim Tebow would have made a nice little pretty penny for himself.
Not in the top 5. Interesting.
No, he's not in my top 5. And when I tell my top 5, you might start my top 5. Number 5, Cam Newton. It was reported that Cam Newton was paid what 100
over Cam Newton.
Here's why. It was reported that he was paid $100,000 or something like that by Mississippi State to go to Mississippi State, but ended up going to Auburn. So I ain't no telling what he got. I think not Tim Tebow. I think Cam Newton would have made, legally, they would have paid him pretty handsomely. Number 4, Shaq. There's no doubt in my mind that Shaq would not have made a lot of money during his time at LSU, especially when he decided to come back and play that extra year. Dale Brown actually convinced Shaq to go to the league after, always been constantly being beat up and not getting the calls and stuff like that. Shaq was very, influential at the time. A lot of people, I saw when the little 30 for 30, I think they had. They talked about when Shaq was. They asked him about David Duke or something. He know he gave an answer, and then people all up in arms and stuff about it. That kind of influence and stuff. I think Shaq would have did real well NIL wise. They probably would have paid him to come back. Number 3, we just talked about him, Bo Jackson. One of the greatest athletes in college sports. Charles Barkley says he was the second best college athlete at Auburn, but Bo did it in 2 sports, and I don't see nobody paying him, or not paying him what he was worth. Number 2, the man got a song about it. Must be the money. He's still about that dollar. And Deion Primetime Sanders, also a 2-sport athlete. I think he would have did well. And number 1, this might shock you. And the reason why this person is number 1, because even though it was illegal, he still got that bag. He still got that money. So Eric Dickerson, SMU. You can't tell me that man wasn't gonna get paid. Because he did get paid. So that's why with that with the Grand Trans Am, you can tell me Eric Dickerson wasn't gonna get paid. Yeah, he wasn't gonna get paid. But that's my top 5.
That's a good one. All right, so I got some honorable mentions too.
All right.
I got at number 5. Honorable mention. I got Zion.
Ooh, okay.
That year at Duke, he would have made a hell of a lot of money. I got Matt Leinart, just because he played quarterback at USC for like 3 years and was in the Heisman Trophy running race, national championships and all that kind of stuff. Honorable mention, I got Cam. And honorable mention, I got Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I got At number 5, it's not one person, but it's a group. They changed culture of college basketball a little bit. The Fab Five.
I like that. That's a good one. That's a real good one.
At number 4, you had him in your honorable mention, but I got him at number 4. Tim Tebow. Man, I think with the whole his faith and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff, I think
Christianity. Yeah.
yeah, I think he would, and then the fact he would like people knew him as a freshman and he stayed like 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that would have made him a hell of a lot of money in college, and not to mention winning 2 national championships.
Yeah.
At number 2, Reggie Bush, man, like he got paid. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That should
he
be number 3,
definitely
right?
Now Tebow was number. Oh, I skipped number 3. My bad. Tebow was number 4.
Yeah.
At number 3, I got prime time, Deion.
Okay.
Like you said, the bling, the personality, the charisma. Like, he would have been just like he is now, but younger. You know what I
With
mean?
money.
And
Yeah.
with money, he'd be like Shador, but a better trash talker. You know what I mean? And a little more charisma and stuff to him. So,
a lot more drip, and literally drip with the Jerry curl.
Yeah. Facts. So Deion number 3. Number 2 is Reggie Bush. We know he got paid pretty much at USC with the cars and all that kind of stuff, and him with the fame he had, you know.
Yeah.
With all the people pulling up to the games to watch him play, he would have been in plenty of videos and, you know what I'm saying, all that kind of stuff. And he would have been on the face of all the alcohol ads and stuff for Cristal and all that kind of shit. You know what I mean? So Reggie would have made some money. And my number 1 might surprise you. My number 1 is Barry Sanders.
I originally was thinking of Barrett, but yeah,
And I'm gonna tell you the only reason why I put Barry Sanders at number 1. T-Boone Pickens. T-Boone Pickens would have broke that boy off something proper, bro. The big booster man at Oklahoma State. That man got so much money, he would have broke, man.
Yeah.
That man would have probably had $5 million a season back in
yeah.
in the 80s, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, Barry Sanders would have got paid.
That's a good one. I'm gonna say somebody who I didn't have on the list, but I think would have also got paid. Peyton Manning, because we already see what it's like. Yeah, Peyton Manning. Yeah, Peyton and Eli Manning. Yeah. The Boz would have got paid. Boz doing it now.
I was thinking about Boz when he said that. I was like, he would have made a killing, bro. I almost put Michael Vick up there, and Allen Iverson, but
only reason why I don't think Allen Iverson, my bad. Only reason I don't think Allen Iverson, because he wasn't at Georgetown long. He was there that 1 year, and I don't think he would have. By the time he would have got the buzz, he would have been gone.
But see, Zion came in with the buzz. That's why I put him.
Yeah, exactly. Man, I was watching. I think it was on a YouTube short. It might have been TikTok or something like that. But I think it was a YouTube short. They were talking about like those "Where Are They Now" type things.
Yeah.
They was talking about Ronald Curry and how good he was. And like he played, I didn't realize he was a quarterback with Vic in Virginia at the same time. And they talked about like he was like his last 3 years, he was like 28-0, including beating Vic in the championship, like 30-31-0 or 34-0, something like that. They didn't beat them in the championship. He beat Vic and them like 51-0 or 51 something, and then won the championship like 31-0. So it was crazy. They were talking about how good he was. I didn't realize how insanely good he was at quarterback. I remember him playing basketball, and I swear I did not remember him playing in the league, but he played for the Raiders for a while. But he's a quarterback coach somewhere right now. I forget.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's those stories like that I always think about.
Yeah, I also thought about he only played like 1 year though, but if he had NIL, he would have stayed and played more. Maurice Claret.
Yep, that's the same. Yep, I agree. Yeah,
He would have made some money coming out that national championship or whatever.
Yeah, you know who didn't? I didn't mention, but I think and it's kind of the same thing with as Allen Iverson, but I think he would have had that buzz coming in as well. Carmelo.
I don't know if he would have had as much buzz as like a Durant.
He wouldn't have had. He wouldn't have had it. I don't think he would have had as much as like you said, Zion or Durant, but I think he would have did well.
He would have did well though, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of
I was gonna throw some more baseball guys in there.
I was like Warren Morris. That's what I was thinking of. Like
I was thinking Austin Nola. Not Austin Nola.
Aaron Nola.
Aaron Nola.
Yeah, somebody like him. Skeens was in the NIL era, but
Ty Walker or Ben McDonald. Ben McDonald, mate, because he was
McDonald would have made some money. Yeah. Albert Bell, Joey Bell, he would have probably made some money. But I was just thinking like Warren Morris and Brad Creasy, who hit those important, hits and home runs or whatever. Like them dudes would have made money just off that. You know what I'm saying? Have a Gordon McKernan or whoever commercial with the walk-off playing at the beginning, and then he comes in and says, "Hi, get with Gordon," whatever, that type deal.
Yeah.
And my mood probably would have got paid too. Chris Jackson.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Simone Augustus.
You know what? I think about it's a lot of guys in basketball who I feel like possibly could have, but they skipped college and ended up just
LeBron would have got banked.
LeBron, KG.
Yeah, KG would have got. He would have got some money.
And then somebody else. Somebody else, I can't think who it is. If somebody that was on my mind. I don't think so. And the only reason why I say that Kobe, I think he would have made some money, but I don't think he would, saying, because Kobe, I don't know, Kobe wasn't as flashy though, saying, like he was great, but it's like Kobe had he had more humble.
He would have made some money because he would have won.
That's fair. That's very fair. That's very fair. This guy was on my mind as well. Chad Jones, dual sport, LSU legend.
It's a good one.
Yeah,
it's a good one. That's a good one. I was thinking about like Tommy Frazier.
I almost put Tommy Frazier is a good one. I almost put Fournette on my list too.
Yeah, he would have got paid. He would have been an honorable mention probably on mine. He would have been in that Manziel range for me.
Yeah. We can say I was going to talk about the national championship, but we can say that till Sunday since the game on Monday. NFL divisional round. I do want to talk real quick about just some of the matchups. Just a quick feel. We ain't got to go in depth in that conversation. Look at some of these matchups. Division around this weekend. Starting Saturday. Chiefs take on the Texans at 3:30 on ESPN. And then at 7, you got Lions and Commanders. Both of those games on Saturday. On Sunday, you got Bills Ravens at 5:30. And then you got actually you got the Eagles Rams at 2:00, and then the Bills Ravens at 5:30.
Okay.
I'll be honest, bro. As much as I'm hating to say this, I only see one really good matchup this weekend. I think Lions Commanders it can go one or two ways. The Lions blow the Commanders out, or the Lions are like in full control, but the Commanders keep pushing, trying to catch up.
Yeah.
The other Chiefs Texans, I don't see that being close. Eagles Rams, I don't see that really being close. But that Ravens Bills game should be
Chiefs Texans not close after what we saw the Texans do last week.
I don't think it's gonna be close.
The Chiefs hadn't really blown anybody out all year, really.
I know I want it to be close, but I don't think it'll be close.
I think it's
because
close.
it's playoff. The playoff, yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I think it's a defensive. You got, but like the best part of both of those teams right now is their defense.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't feel like it's neither team gonna put up a lot of points. I could see it being like a 2017 type game. You know what I mean? Like 23-20 or something. You know what I mean? Like I don't really see it being 35-13 or nothing like that.
No, when I say it don't be close, I'm thinking something like 24-14 kind of game. It's still low scoring, but 24-14, 10-point game, or 24-10, something like that. I just don't think it's a two. I think it'll be a 2-possession game. It's just gonna be high scoring.
I don't know. That 24-10 I could possibly see if the Texans have trouble scoring, but I don't know. I just got a feeling it's gonna be a close game because the Chiefs ain't really blowing nobody out. They rely on their defense and just timely possessions. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just make the most of the right possessions. But that Buffalo game gonna be ridiculously good.
They played. We talked about it beforehand. Last week, or not last week, Sunday, when the Texans played the week prior to, not the week, couple weeks before, and they played the Ravens. It was 31-2. They played before that the Chiefs. It was 27-19. It was an 8-point game. So
I could see it being something like that.
Yeah. It's playoffs too, and I know Chiefs are a different beast in the playoffs. That's another reason why I'm just kind of.
But the Texans look like a different beast in the playoffs.
That's very true. I wouldn't be surprised. The likelihood is I see. Tyler said he want to see the Lions. I mean, not the Lions. Yeah, the Lions and the Bills in the Super Bowl. I'm gonna be honest with you. I want the Cognac Newport Bowl. I want to see what was it? 8 Mile versus The Wire.
Yeah.
I want to see, the hood dissed. No, I'm just talking. I would love to, but bruh, think about it. Baltimore, Detroit, in New Orleans.
Yeah, that would be pretty lit. That'll be pretty lit. I think I kind of want to see I kind of want to see Baltimore versus Philly.
I can see that. I mean, that could be. I don't think Philly got enough, bro. For some reason, they hitting at the right time, but it's something about Philly, bro. I just don't trust.
Is it the quarterback?
Mm,
Because they got weapons. They got a
I think
defense. Is
I
it the
think it's the
coach?
coach. It's the coach,
That's fair.
Sirianni. Brian, bruh, listen. I would love for you to be right. He said Jaden Daniels will lead the Commandos to a win. I would love for you to be right.
I wouldn't bet on.
Love. Put them in the teaser. Right now, they're a 9.5 point underdog. I might take the points on that, but oh yeah, I get I do like that. He said Tyler said he just wants a team to win that hasn't won a Super Bowl. That's fair. I understand that.
Then why it can't be the Texans versus who in the NFC ain't won the Super Bowl beside the Lions?
That's it. Everybody else
That's
done
it.
won one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, the Commanders ain't won one in my lifetime, so that don't count. But
Dang, I forgot you, Young. I remember when they Art Monk and they beat the Buffalo. They was part of that. When they beat the Buffalo Bills.
well, I might have been alive, but I don't.
You went, yeah, I know. That was as a matter of fact, it was 91, if I'm not mistaken. It was the 92 Super Bowl, the 91 season.
Okay, I was one.
Yeah. So Buffalo lost to the Giants the year before on the Norwood missed field goal. The next year, if I'm not mistaken, Mark Ripken and I sound like Chuck right now. Mark Ripken and Art Monk ripped a new one in West. I used to love Art Monk after that too. I wanted the Buffalo Bills to win, but yeah, that's when they won. Then the Cowboys beat them back to back. So
Yeah, I don't remember none of that.
bro, I cried after the third time the Buffalo Bills lost. I cried the third time, and I said the fourth one can't happen. Like I said, they can't lose 4 times in a row. I was wrong.
Shit. Man, Josh just dunked on Wemby. Oh my God.
Mm.
It don't count though because of a foul, but man.
Hey, sticking with the NFL, Dallas lets go of Mike McCarthy.
Did they really let him go though?
Or I'm sorry, contract talks between the two failed, and so they both decided to part ways.
Yeah. Which was kind of weird, but hey, it happens.
Mike McCarthy became a very hot name because
I
now
think he's going to Chicago.
I was just gonna say teams Chicago is rumored to the Saints. But Chicago is somewhere that name's that's starting to heat up. Speaking of the Saints,
It might be
the
Joe
Saints
Brady.
coach search. You think so?
I said it wasn't gonna be Joe Brady, but it looked like Aaron Glenn prefers the Jets over
I
the
was just gonna
Saints.
say I saw that said he preferred the Jets.
So I mean, who left? If McCarthy gets Chicago, if Glenn go to the Jets, who left? Darren Rizzi?
Boy, if they do that, they'll Saints deserve.
I mean, so Joe Brady got to be the guy then, right? And just hope he could be like a Sean McVay type. What's your boy and O'Connell, Kevin O'Connell type of guy. And Tyler in the chat said Joe going to Jacksonville. So I mean, So I mean, if that's the case, you really gonna get Rizzy.
So unserious right now.
I mean, if that happens, I can't blame the Saints. Like what are the Saints supposed to do? Like their top 3 choices went somewhere else.
I'm with Tyler on this one. It ain't gonna happen.
Not
I kind
happening.
of want Flores to the Saints. It's not gonna happen, but I don't. I think he is the coach, a type of coach they need, though.
I agree, but it ain't happening. So
No.
it ain't no point of even talking about it. It ain't happening.
I agree with this too. Cardone said they need to dump Loomis in the trash. BFI certified.
Once again,
I know.
ain't happening. Ain't no need to even talk about it.
You know what? I ain't gonna even say they need to dump him. They need to move him to a different position within the organization. I think he should be in charge of all trash receptacles throughout the Saints organization.
Boy,
matter of fact, put him over all New Orleans sports franchises. He should be in charge of all trash receptacles. He can design them whatever way he want. He can tell you what kind of paper go in each one or what kind of trash. That's where he needs to be over. Trash. Like what Bubba Dub say, straight trash. Tyler said Jets old coach. Rex Ryan?
No, Robert Salah.
I know.
He supposedly a candidate for the Cowboys job. I don't think he that bad of a coach, though, honestly.
I don't either.
But I just don't want another defensive-minded coach, bro.
Yeah. Also, I just want to say I love the spirit of the Rooney Rule, but
it's a sham.
The shit that we saw from the New England Patriots when they posted the graphics, we interviewed this coach and this coach. Yeah, that's so trash.
The Cowboys interviewed Hugh Jackson, bro.
It's trash.
Before they hired Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackson.
Yeah. He's a offense coordinator now at Georgia State, I believe.
Ed Reed is also an offensive coordinator.
At a high school. Chambly High School. And
he's an offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, Matt Patricia shit, man.
Yeah.
But you know who also on that staff, right?
Who that?
Jamal
on which
Williams.
staff?
Ed Reed.
Jamal Williams. You talking about
for the Ravens.
For the Saints? I mean for the Ravens. Jamal Lewis?
Yeah. I said Jamal Williams. I'm tripping. Yeah, Jamal Lewis.
Okay. Jamal Lewis. Okay. I saw so Carl Dunn said Coach O is available. I met Jamal Lewis, his mom, saw his mom when he was at Tennessee. Went to a game, watched T play, and Jamal Lewis' mom was in the stand. That dude, that is like I remember watching that dude play. That dude was phenomenal, bro. That's somebody who like had a stellar playing career and just like kind of faded into oblivion. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you somebody else too. Chris Johnson, C2K,
CJ2K,
CJ2K, yeah. That's somebody else who had a outstanding or played. You know what I'm saying? That dude had what, back-to-back 2,000 yards?
Nah, he got close to second year. He didn't get it though.
Okay. I remember I was watching it. I don't know what happened, man. My algorithm been kind of doing some things lately. old video of him running came up. I was like, man, that dude was so good, bro.
He was.
His vision. All right, man, I ain't got nothing else. We can get ready to get up out of here. You got something else? Or it's something we missed?
Nah, I'm good, bro. I don't think so.
RIP to TikTok, bro. Let something happen before 9 Sunday.
Not a big loss.
I know it ain't for you, but it was helping the show out. People was tuning in.
Oh, yeah,
hey, people was looking at them clips. Was like, hey, y'all pretty good. Y'all pretty funny. So we had some classics.
LSU lost to an analyst.
Who that?
Paul Turner. Former.
Where did he go? I saw that today. He
went to Charlotte as the wide receiver coach and passing game coordinator. So congratulations, little cuz. Proud of you, man.
Yeah. Can the Saints get Mike Tomlin? He's on a hot seat, which is so dumb. Pittsburgh. I'm gonna tell you Mike Tomlin's problem, and we can get ready to get up off here. He is a terrible evaluator of offensive coordinators. If he would get a better offensive coordinator, I guarantee you he would not be.
Who their offensive coordinator now?
Shit. I was finna say Canada. It ain't Canada no more.
Oh no, they been fired him.
Still his offensive coordinator. That's exactly Arthur Smith, former head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah. That's why. I knew it was somebody like why.
Yeah.
Get rid of them, man. Go ahead and get the music going. We talked about coach. We go live on Sunday. Don't be surprised they announced Deion Sanders to the Cowboys. That talk been heating up, bro.
Boy, stupid.
But I ain't lying. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate everybody. We'll be back on Sunday. Preview the national championship. Go Buckeyes, I guess. I don't know. But like that, we out.
This show was presented by betonline.ag.
Bring me my money.
You can find the Golden Boot Podcast on YouTube at Golden Boot. On Twitter at Golden Boot. On Instagram at Golden Boot. On Facebook at the Golden Boot Pod. On TikTok at Golden Boot. Or listen on all streaming platforms. Golden Boot!